It's a journey, y'all. It's called The Journey Within. That's what my friend said to me. She said,
Genius.
there's no greater journey than the journey within.
Alrighty, what's good, gang? Welcome to another episode on Roots Holistic. It's your host G3E, and let's dive in, right? Let's dive in. As you see, I've got a pre-poll over here, and you know, when I just think about the last few readings that we've been doing, it's very much about the journey within. Of course, that's what we do here on the channel, right? But in this case here, there's just, you know, with me even looking at these cards, gardening, problem solving, astral travel, you know, what's coming through is the fruits of your labor. You know, what's coming through is some level of contentment where you are now having to, you know, tend to the soil. But you having tended to the soil is as a result of course, all the seeds that you've planted. So it's like, you know, now allowing things to grow and expand. But as you do that, you realize that there's now a new set of responsibilities, a new set of circumstances that you need to navigate your way through. So you are definitely at the point where, you know, you are ready to reap. And now, of course, solving these problems. But then where does it take you to next? You know, something new is being unlocked. This new era, this new gift, this new time, this new paradigm. But then it comes with a lot of expression. It comes with a lot of discernment and like aligning with energies that are actually going to work for you. So I definitely think you've gone through a process of releasing things, prioritizing, you know, releasing things and people, prioritizing, and then now realizing that, you know what, you are a channel for spirit. And being that channel for spirit, what is it, or what are you going to channel towards? Because you realize that there's so much energy to work with and what it is that you want to grow and expand, right? So yeah, let's see what there is in this reading, what more is going to be revealed as we dive in and tune in. And yeah, let's uncover, right? So thank you, angels, ascended masters, guardians, ancestors, all beings and forces wishing us well. Thank you for protecting the reading, and let us dive straight in. Thank you as well for being here. 216. All right, so I'm being led to look at the back of the deck first, and at the back here we have dancing. Wow, you know, it's interesting how I'm looking at the back of this, and it looks like there's a portal that you just came out of, or something that was integrated which led to a portal with you being able to jump through one timeline to another timeline. It's like a quantum leap, but also, you know, maybe from a previous way of doing and thinking, now you're doing and thinking differently. Because what we don't see here is in the background is like there was this movement, there was this flow. And I think that's what's actually being recognized or rewarded here, is that, you know, because of all this time that you spent planting seeds, you are now in a new place where you can now dance with the universe, you know, work with the energy, and being that channel, now being in a position where you can decide how do you want to express this energy. So I think this is kind of what was veiled in a sense, because like you were not able to see that you were being like initiated or put into a position where you can actually work better with energy, work better with spirit, even understand which energies are your own and which energies are for other people, right? But now, having done that work, having understood that you are a vessel or chosen to work with the divine, you know, you are like divine expression, if I can put it that way. Wow. And here you are dancing, here you are in flow, you know. It's like you also like being carried by the wind, you know. There's something about the elements also being strong and powerful here. Of course, I'm getting water, I'm getting air, and if I remember correctly, are those like opposites to each other? Well, I'm not sure, but please do correct me, you know. Tap in, tune in. Of course, you're more than welcome to join the tribe. But these two energies are just, you know, water and air. I mean, they are both mediums, right? Things can move through the air, things can move through the water. But here you are being able to move not only through either of them, but navigating your way through them, you know. I'm even thinking about how the air can move water, and there's air inside water, like bubbles, you know what I mean? So it's like there's this integration, there's this yin and this yang that's happening. So you having done this internal work is now reflecting externally. So you and spirit, you and these new collaborators with these new energies that are coming in to work with you. So I think that's very powerful, and it's a call for you to stay in motion. You know, there's motion, there's transport. I mean, look at this at the back of the deck. It's the Eight of Cups, right? And the Eight of Cups, I look at this as like, with the cups being set or ordered in this manner. It's like a train, a train with its compartments or its carriages. But now it's to say, like, because you've made it to this point where you have now understood how to dance with the universe, to work with this energy, there's like no more going back. There's no more separation, there's no more disconnection, if I'm looking at it that way. If we're thinking about it as carriages, right? There's no more disconnection between you and spirit, you and your creativity, you and your expression, and from you and movement. So there's motion, there's perpetual motion. Listen, whatever's happening, there is movement. There's like one step to the next, or one track to the next, because I'm thinking about how trains are on a track, and I'm even hearing that like train sound, that it's like how a train is moving from one track to the next, like, because the tracks are being joined up. So it's like that's actually what was happening, like even with this gardening here, how we see like these little trenches in the ground. It's like all the tracks have been set, and now it's a matter of like, okay, cool, let's hit the ground running. So as I'm also looking, oh wow, look at the candles flickering, as I'm also thinking about this Eight of Cups, and with it being also in reverse, it's like there is some level of strength that I'm feeling is going to be required for you to take this higher path and this higher route. But it's not forgetting why you are doing it, because there's a reason why you left the things that you left behind, why you're moving into this new era. But then also remembering that, like, look, you're looking for more. You're looking for something that's going to fulfill you, that's going to fill you, because you've created a space that can now be filled by more love, by more presence of divine, more presence of joy, more presence of abundance, like all of these wonderful and amazing things, 646, that are going to, just light you up, fill you up. Because where you were before was not filling your cups, right? I mean, look at this. Just with the drawing, right, or the image itself, all the cups are upside down. But now where can you dance to? Where can you get these energies, these chakra alignments, or these systems that now you can put into place? Oh wow, that's how it's coming through now. It's like the previous systems or the structures or the puzzle pieces weren't working, and now you are going to a place where you can put in new structures and new systems, and boom, look at that. And there we go. It's going to be filled by this new set of abundance, because you've now taken ground elsewhere. This is the most grounded king in the deck, as we have here with the King of Pentacles. And it also speaks to, someone who's very affluent, somebody who's very successful as well. So it's like you are moving towards your success, no matter how hard it is, no matter the circumstances, because you understand that you are working in tandem with spirit. I'm even thinking about that, I'm looking at how we have the Two of Cups. Clearly very much a focus on like water energy right now. I even saw I think Water Guardian in this Angels and Ancestors deck as I was putting it away from a previous reading. And I'm just thinking like, yo, and look at this, there's water even here in the Star card, there's water here. Oh my gosh, there's like water in all of these cards, because we're about to water the garden, the tracks, right? It's like oil on the tracks. It's like, they can move now, this flow with this liquid. It's allowing things to move, to flow. So of course on a train track, I'm thinking that like they might like grease it or something, because it's like steel and all of that. I'm even getting like, there's this spray that I used on the door hinges. It's what, Q10 or Q20, which was like lubricating the movement. So, here we are with this liquid or, water, lubricating or adding some liquid, adding some life, because water also carries life to the seeds that you've planted. And not only is it now lubricating it and nourishing it, but now it's resulting in this growth, this uprooting. Not an uproot like things is being taken out, but it's like, things are bubbling under, things are bubbling up. And look at that with the Empress as well. I mean, just look at all these plants here. I was about to say reeds as well. So I'm not sure if it's like fields on fields. And look at that, there's like a jungle behind her. I mean, here there's like, land over there. Here we've got the greenery over here. And I mean, you know what, there's the earth coming in again. And of course, you are the most grounded king. I'm getting also Capricorn energy right now. We were just coming out of Capricorn season. I think we're going into, oh goodness gracious, My astrologers, what it do? I know I'm not alone in this collective 943. Let me know, what season are we in at the beginning of February 2026? But at the same time, I think it is timeless. We can just embody the energy of the Capricorn. So it's like, the ram, let's move full steam ahead. Whatever we need to catch into our horns, which is what I'm also thinking of is like, tunnel vision. But I'm also getting Serunos with like life force energy. So it's like you are directing your vitality, your life force. Oh wow, look at that vital force over here. Damn, son. Damn, girl. Like, what's up? You are directing your energy, your life force towards what it is that's actually going to reap this harvest in your garden. You know what I mean? You're just investing more time, investing more energy in a place where now it's gonna, set the stage or set the foundation for these structures to build off of. Wow, that's amazing, man. Whoa! What? Come on now, Spirit ain't playing. Spirit is not playing. 10 of Pentacles, goodness gracious. Let me know what you're sipping on. I've got some matcha here with me today. I remember in the previous reading I said I was going to make it a little bit different, and I did today. So it's like, you also get to work with the energy. You get to try new things. And I think it's a reminder to say, because of everything that you've planted, look at what you're about to reap. And you also get to, invest in new things. Again, try new things, which would be directing your energy towards different things, new experiences as well, new opportunities as well. So like, come on now, you having just decided, you having just made this decision to like, fuck it, I'm going for it, 1133, and that's mastery. Ooh, come on now, like, where are we going, gang? Where are we going? It's like, wow. It's interesting, like, we can work so hard, we can work so tirelessly, I'm even thinking about myself right now, because I know my story is the motivation. Sometimes I'll be working so hard and I'll be tired, gang. I'll be tired. I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, Spirit wants me to do a reading now. Or, oh my gosh, here's this someone from work calling me to like, put in an extra 30 minutes or an extra hour. And I'm thinking, I've already been going so hard. But they're like, nah, like there's this energy, there's this momentum, we gotta go. Like, you don't see what's happening energetically, but trust, just have faith that, it's moving. So I say that to say, don't be disheartened, don't fall flat or don't fall on like deaf ears, even though you're not hearing your acknowledgement, you're not seeing your acknowledgement, or it's not necessarily showing up as yet, because that's how manifestation works. It takes some time, right? And that's what it is. You tending to the soil, tending to the garden. But look at what's happening, guys, and it's in the background. So it's like you having grounded yourself, you having set your stage or your foundation. Now look at what happens. Boom, booyah, just getting this like explosion, like dynamite. Dynamite comes in small packages. I don't know what's up with you or how you set up yourself, but you are the dynamite. You are like this huge explosion in a human form, you know what I mean? Or in whichever form you are choosing to direct the energy. So you can just like ignite something and then it explodes because you like the catalyst in the reaction type of a thing. So it's like your energy is able just to, exaggerate other energies. It's like you are the activator, you are the initiator that just makes things bigger than what they are already. Like I'm saying, it's like exaggeration type of a thing. It's like it's so big, but not in a sarcastic sense. But I guess that's how your abundance is gonna be. It's gonna be so great that people can't even believe, like, what? How did G get that? How did Collective get this? You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be mind-blowing. It's going to be astonishing. But it's because you have new systems. You didn't fear setting up these new systems. And again, you understood that there was movement. You got things in motion. Okay, Spirit, you got one more. Wow, look at that. You avoided the conflicts. I was just thinking about how you left the old ways or the old things, the old people. And look what just happened here. You took the time to change, to rearrange. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting like, here I am on the table. It's like a seat at the table. Whoever was at the head of the table, now the table like restructured, and now there's different people taking seats at your table, and you can eat with who you choose to eat with, which means who you choose to share your energy with, who you choose to break bread with. So I'm looking at this as like different business partners, different investments, different collaborators. You get what I'm saying? Different partnerships, friends, chosen family, real family. It's like you got to see through the conflicts, you got to see through the old ways. I'm even getting the Hierophant in reverse right now. Old teachings, old traditions, old ways of just living, tradition, routines, if you want to call it that, or structures, like, ways of being, and the way things that people were told us like things should be, whatever structures those were or what they are. But it's like, nah, we're not going there anymore, gang. Oh, and look at that. Why? Look at this motion, gang. We've been talking about this. Look at that, 6 of Swords, motion, movement. And with it being next to the 8 of Cups, I mean, come on. How much more movement do we need here on the table? I mean, movement in this dancing card. Movement in the 6 of... Oh, wow, we got something else behind this. More movement, Spirit. Because your ships are coming in. Like, what? Look at us spending so much time at the back of the deck, because Spirit's like, yo, listen, before we get into the meat, listen, here's the songs, here's the ingredients. Let me show you what's going on. Let me show you what's going on. Goodness gracious, gang. Wow, man. Wow. There's just a lot of movement. A lot of movement. And, oh, of course, no wonder I was saying Hierophant. I mean, look at that. Hierophant could also be looked at as like the God card. A presence of a higher energy, or like a priest, the high priest, if you want to think of it like that. And look at this, source, divinity, enlightenment. It's like this whole situation is being administered by our guides, administered by, the divine forces. It's divine orchestration, divine engineering taking place right now. So just trust in that. With also it being white, I'm thinking about the crown chakra. So trust whatever intuitive hits, downloads, messages are coming through for you right now, because this movement that you're going to take is going to lead you to being more grounded. And again, your blessings are coming in. Your higher self, actually, that's another thing, with the crown. It's like you are now tapping into your higher self, those great desires and plans and dreams, aspirations. Look at how they're coming through, because you are the gardener. I'm even thinking about how now let's go in with the gardening. It's like everything has a season. A gardener or a farmer does not stress when it's winter time or when it's no longer raining, because he's done the work in the season prior to make sure that when the rains do come, when the waters come through to lubricate, to nourish, I'm ready, son. I'm ready, girl. Like, you feel me? Because he planted. You set the tone. You set the stage for the things that need to be, grown or growth. And, with me even looking at the whole situation and looking at the card, right? It's a matter of what is in your garden. Can you observe your environment, your space? What is happening in your energy? What is your energetic hygiene? What is your 18-2? Or 182, I'll list both. But like, what is happening within your energetic space, within your auric field, that could be, hindering or aiding your manifestation? So it's like even picking out the weeds, if you want to look at it like that, other growth spurts which might get in the way of you having seeds or you sprouting, in a sense. So, check about, build your perimeter, have your boundaries as well, because I'm looking at, how there's a line there. There's also a line there in the King of Pentacles card. There's this like line behind him, which would be that wall. So again, it's like, for this sacred space that you've now created for yourself, protect it and tend to it. So keeping up with your rituals, whatever spiritual practice you have to help you with the manifestation, subliminals, confirmation birth, journaling, meditations, breath work. I think we all have different ways of manifesting. I even like manifesting through music. I'll make a playlist of a bunch of songs that are like in a particular vibe or speaking about a particular topic. Let's say, for example, it's about dreams. I'll even put it like here in the description, right? But it's like I called it dream chasing, and it's like, yo, we chasing our dreams, and all of these songs are speaking to chasing your dreams and like what it takes to pursue your dreams and all of that. So with me even just listening to the playlist, I know I'm putting myself in that state of mind, and of course with that repetition, you feel me, like we're creating more evidence or making it more solid, because we're building this foundation within our minds, within the spirit, because what's inside is going to reflect outside. You know, rich spirit, rich life. Rich inside, rich outside. You feel me? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Nah, I mean, hey, let's go, gang. Let's go. So let's proceed. You know, we're just gonna go up, down, up, down. Like, I was led to putting the cards like this, so you know, I'm looking at it as a wave as well, but it also could be like steps, levels. So, you know, new levels, new devils. So you make your way through one stage to the next. And interestingly, how, you know, both of these are around the problem solving card. So it's like even these tarot cards are like the transition between the oracle cards, you know. So it's interesting that like one energy moves to the next. It's like it's taking new shape, taking new form. It's malleable, you know, but it's like a dancer. It's like you know, you're in motion, gang. Like, yo, let's go. There's even another playlist I'm working on called Motion and Transport, and I think it's also going to be quite nice to listen to once I've actually finished it. And you know what, Spirit's like, yo bro, come on, share it now, like put it in there, you know. And look at me like stirring my drink, and at the back it's like, you know, this little portal as well. So it's like things were stirring up, things like were coming together for this manifestation. Oh, sorry, just before I get off this gardening card, I'm thinking about how, you know, when you put fertilizer, when you give more nourishment to the soil, they can also add like fertilizer into water, and that needs to be mixed up with the liquid. So there's something about alchemy as well, and like how you have found your perfect mixture to get the best results from this land. And oh, look at that, the right candles, the left candle is flickering. So definitely the paternal guides, you know, the guides on our father's sides are like, yo, let's put in that strength, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, let's go hard. But here we are, Ace of Swords, you know, Ace always number one, new opportunity, new beginning, but something new is coming in. And you know what, I think this is some new truth, this is some new information, this is some new knowledge. With it being in the clouds, I'm getting this, of course, you know, being dropped. We're thinking about what is this card here? The Crown, of course, with Spirit. But I'm also getting this as like, it could be from a unexpected source. So I think like some unexpected information, some, you know, some unexpected wisdom or knowledge or truth is gonna make its way to you. And once it does make its way to you, because you've already set your grounding and your first foundation, how I'm thinking now, like it could be leading to frustration, but then that's what's going to lead you to problem solving, leading to this resolution to say, you know what, with this stage that I've set, this information might have like shook your foundation at first, but now it's a matter of saying, oh, okay, because I've understood that, you know, I'm the most grounded king, I'm working with this energy. Now you're trying to figure it out, like, oh, okay, how do I actually put these things together? And you know, earlier on I was saying puzzle pieces when we were talking about the Eight of Cups. But yeah, all these puzzle pieces in the mind. And here it is. Swords are about the mind, right? They are also about this air energy. So it's like we had the water, but now here's all this water here, but now here's the air coming in to move this water. So is it like, you know, raging waters? Is it like, you know, a high tide? Is it a low tide? Like what's happening with this air and this movement of this water? So this new information comes in and you don't see that it's actually a blessing, because look at that crown there. I mean, the king has his crown, and we were just looking at also the 10 of Pentacles. So you have now gotten to a point where everything is structured, everything is ordered. This new information comes in and you are now being given this opportunity to like, which way do you want to go? Interestingly, how, you know, this Ace of Swords is like, you know, just below, and it's like from the manifestation, now we come down to this information. So it's like there's a moment of pause, there's a moment of re-evaluation, and it's like, if you look at this as like a journey going that way, this would be like the diverging point, because it's like, do you go to problem solving, or do you go to a point where you are no longer in your star energy? You know, you are no longer healing, you are no longer in that allowance of miracles. You get what I'm saying? And it's like you being in the star in reverse would be you choosing. It's like, actually, wow, it's like two pathways are being presented, and there I was thinking about it being a wave at first, but it's like these two pathways are being presented to you to say one pathway you could go into problem solving and find a resolution to say, cool, here's an energy, how do I work with this, how do I apply this new knowledge into what it is that I'm building, manifesting, planting, or trying to reap? Does it form part of, the structure, and does it fit in this space that I've created? Or does it actually ultimately now take me out of my element? Because, I like to think of us here in the collective as star seeds, light workers, shamans, healers, guides, gods, goddesses. You feel me? We're just here on a mission, gang. We're here to raise the vibration. We're here to lift things up. But if this information takes you out of that, takes you out of your stardom, takes you out of your healing, takes you out of your miracle energy, that you are able to exude and embody the energies that you truly are. I mean, if it takes you off your track, right? It's like, is it really necessary? Is it really required? Because I think this energy could, or this information, right? This truth could kind of set you on a path where, now you're like, working against yourself. It's like very pessimistic, very much like a defeatist type of mentality or energy. And it seems like it's big because, the star's a major arcana card, but I definitely look at this as, there's something hidden in there. If you don't see that there's actually a blessing in this information, regardless of what it is, who it's about, how it comes in, you feel me? Again, there's something about it being unexpected, but it's like, the moment you can start picking it apart, also tapping into how it feels, what it is that it's exposing, with this nude figure, you can now choose to integrate it, to work with it, prune what doesn't work, and then get back to tending the soil, which is how we get to this Empress, is to say, regardless of what you do, this Empress energy is actually what's going to happen, and again, we're looking at it as two pathways of, you have an option to do either one, but it's like, because of all this effort, because you are who you are gonna get back up regardless. But you have this option of being a willing participant with the energy, or allowing the energy to ram you over type of a thing, because regardless of whatever you choose, it feels like the wheels have already started turning, and there's no stopping this motion, there's no stopping this movement. And I'm just looking at how my candle just burnt out, but it's like, you are no longer going to burn out from this. That's what I'm getting. And even if it did lead you to some kind of burnout, watch this energy come through to reinvigorate you, or bring you to a place where you can create, because this Empress is actually not actually, or it is the most abundant card in the whole tarot deck. So even the things that look like they're taking you out of your stardom, I'm getting even with celebrities, how they say bad publicity is also good publicity. Whether you see it or not, whether you are solving the problem yourself or allowing spirit to come through and lift and raise this fire within you, it's gonna lead to your abundance regardless, no matter what. No matter kanjani. It's it's going to happen either way. And it's, again, I was getting something about reeds, and I'm seeing a whole field, right? So it's you making your way through the fields, through the valleys, through the the valley of death, through something that could have killed you, through something that could have actually closed your eyes or dimmed your lights ultimately. Oh shit, that's what the stars also about. It's even for some people, it's both things are actually happening, but then it's the collective. Please do take what resonates. I think for some people it's an either or, but for some people it's both. It's yo man, your light could be dimmed from you trying to solve this problem, but then it's also maybe realizing what is for you to solve, what is in your energy sphere, and you recognizing that it's I'm not gonna solve your problem, I'm not gonna fall for your trick, I'm going back to my abundance. Because come on, if we even think of the Empress and the King of Pentacles together, what? Just look at these three cards. This is wealth on wealth, abundance on abundance, riches on riches, I'm thinking bitches on bitches. Listen. you have whatever the F you want, yo. Like, yeah, you know what? You have whatever the fuck you want. You have whatever the fuck you want, honestly. Like, and please don't take offense to that, but I feel you, you know. I think you feel me. I also feel you. There's somebody's gonna be like, oh, gee, like, what are you saying, dog? Come on now. You know, I'm listening to this video with my child next to me, and you know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that's the case, but these videos are not for kids. But again, it's about, like, you know, you exercising your discernment, guys. Like, yo. You know what, yo, let's just be for real one time. Like, you know what, and that's the thing about us in the spiritual communities. Like, we think everything has to be all love and light, but we like people, bruh. Like, you know what, we feel what we feel, we do what we do, man. Like, but it doesn't mean that we're not tapped in. It doesn't mean that we're not tuned in. I'm even being reminded of, like, how there's this one friend of mine from high school who actually got a message from God, and she came to me and told me, like, yo, dude, God accepts you as you are. Like, God knows who you are. Like, you were created by God at the end of the day. Granted, you have things to work through, to evolve, to expand on. But even as you are, like, God chooses everyone or anyone to work through, because, you know, I'm even, like, now being led to another Bible verse. It's like, we don't have to, like, question how God's gonna work through us or how God's gonna choose us, you know what I mean? And here you are, you've been chosen. Like I said earlier, you've been chosen to work with the divine. You've been chosen to be the vessel for this energy. So why deny it? Instead, be the empress. Step into this creation. You know, the empress is also like a female who's, like, you know, carrying as well. So it's like there's this new birthing, this new life, there's this new vital force that wants to come through you. Come on now, collective. Allow this thing. Allow this thing. But of course, just like with life, just like with things that are being birthed from this garden, you're gonna tend to it. You're gonna get better at it. You're gonna now, oh, you know what? When I water it at this day or at this time, this is what happens. You know, it's like the farmer learns over time. I'm even getting almanac as well. It's like, you know, understanding, you know, the seasons and how things come together. Yeah, I've been talking. Goodness gracious, 31:49. But anyway, you having understood, you know, what it is that forms part of your creation, how to look after what you've been creating because you've tended to it, that's now the progression, right? It's like you've never child. They are in their baby phase, their toddler phase, their schooling phases. But at each of those points, there's different needs and requirements that change over time. And you do your best, you show up for them. But whether you are wanting to have a child or you're creating a business or you're following your dream, you're following your passion, you're just using your gift or putting your gift out there, whatever movement or expression that you are doing with spirit, like, listen, it's going to be attended to and tended to, both things, in different ways over time. Because like I was saying, there's some new things that are going to be unlocked and revealed. It's like how a child has a developing personality over time, different interests and passions, and all you do as a parent, you support them in their passions. You just say, oh, okay, you want to go dance now, go dance. You want to go learn the piano, go do that. You know, you want to go do boxing, you want to go do rowing. Like, listen, as long as it's an interest, you go and explore it. But then them exploring or trying these different things further refines the focus on what truly resonates with them. And they're like, oh, actually, you know what? I want to be a swimmer. Like, you know what? I tried this, I tried that. But now I feel like I need to do fencing because, you get me? Like, I'm good with the swords. I'm good with my hands. And they will only understand those things because they've been given the platform, right? Which is what you have, which is what you are. So you tending to yourself allows you to tend to your creations, you know, your family, your friends, and whatever it is that you're doing. So how that's going to happen, which is what we're getting into now. Again, two parts of the collective. For some people, it might be both. For others, it might be either or, right? But again, take what resonates. And please let me know, like, which cards have, like, touched you and resonated with you the most. Which parts of the message, like, you know, appealed to you the most, that you felt were, like, speaking to you, you know what I mean? And if you feel like, you know, this is your message, definitely hit me up, you know, just, like, let me know. We can go deeper just for you, you feel me? But anyway, let's keep going. So earlier we were getting the Ram energy, which was the vital force, and I was getting life force, Serunos as well. So how are you directing your life force? Because if you are a channel for this energy, you are now choosing to put it in certain places so that those lands, those areas can now reap, grow, expand. And you having spent time in your sleep, which is what I'm getting at, dream time, soul travel. It's like these dreams, these ideas, these aspirations, the things that were coming through the crown, which is what we saw, you engaging with the divine, with source, with the universe. It's like, look at that, we're even getting the universe over here. It's like these two cards now relating to each other. It's like you having opened yourself up, like, hey God, hey spirit, hey angels, use me. I want to be of service. I want to help people. I want to be the best shaman. I want to be the best reader, Reiki practitioner, best counselor, best therapist. You feel me? Best teacher. Whatever it is that's your vocation, you have decided to be the best at that. And spirit was like, oh, okay, you trying to level up? Watch this. And then things were orchestrated or engineered in such a way that you started to see what you needed to learn, what you needed to research. And now that's this information coming in. And look at this. Here's the information, which what we got with the Ace of Swords. So it's like you having taken that information, which is actually something that you manifested. You wanted to grow. You wanted to expand. You wanted to level up, right? New levels, new devils. But don't be so stuck up on how it appears, because I use this example a lot where I say, I pray for war and I'm presented with peace. Because spirit, universe, guides, angels love us so much. 35, 555. 3, the collaboration, the opportunity. 2, change. Rearrange. Wow. Yo. I'm getting deranged, I'm getting strange. Of course, the boy got a rhyme all the time. But I know that there's a reason why it rhymes, because it's like consecutive numbers, 3, 5, 5, 5. It's like, one step or one action brings about 3 folds. And it's like 3, 5, 5, 5, but also 3 5s. It's like, yo, man, it's like you having ushered in this energy is what's bringing about this big change. But yes, back to the example that I was saying, neurodivergent, neuroexpansive, however you want to look at it. Me praying or wanting to be peaceful and then being presented with war is because universe, angels, guides, they love me so much that they present a situation where I can cultivate the peace, where I can manifest, reap the peace, right? So me being in the war, in the middle of the storm, now instead of me asking but why am I in the storm? Why is there thunder? Why is there strife and war and battle? Instead, it's like, here's the place where I can learn to be peaceful. Here's the place where I can be protected in the peace, because peace is like the solace. Peace is this calm. Peace is like all serene. And that's why we even seeing this 5 of Wands here in the reverse. It's because, it aligns with what I'm just saying, is that you will be presented with, like turmoil, confusion, illusion, you know what I mean? And the moment you recognize that even this is an answer to my prayer, even this is adding to my manifestation or to what it is that I'm trying to create, the moment the whole situation gets flipped on its head. Because now you're thinking oh man, this person always comes to me with problems. But it's like, did you just take a little moment to look in between to see that actually there's something here which is unexpected, which is the crown. Where's the crown being held down? Where is it kind of hidden? And you getting this time to spend time with spirit, open yourself up to this information, open yourself up to seeing yourself, which is why we take this journey within, to do this shadow work, to do this ego unaliving, do all these things that are going to unearth, right? Uproot, which is bring it out of you, bring this life. And now here you are with me, even changing my posture, you standing up strong, because that's where you belong. It's like from these reeds, now look at that, tall trees, gang, oaks, oak tree type of a thing. And oak trees take a long time, you know what I mean? And it's like, imagine that, from these little wands, these little twigs, or these little sticks that they thought they could use against you, but you're the oak tree. Come on now. Ooh, confirmation bird. You know, I'm even thinking about how oaks can be used like to made furniture, and that's like long lasting furniture. But it's like oaks, like, you know, as it's like, check this oak, bruh, check this guy, you know, check this girl. Look at what they doing, what they trying to do, messing with me or messing with the collective, messing with the manifestation. But it's like, nah, you can't do this. This is cemented at this point because of the foundation. It's so strong because of all these pentacles. We've moved through the mediums. That's why now we're working with the water and we're working with the air, because the foundation, you know, the earth is set, the stage is set. And now no wonder people perform, right? Because there's a stage. So I get it, gang. I get it. We have been through a lot. But, you know, at this point in time, we are just like doubling down on the love, doubling down on the force, and we'll be directing it. And that's why we have this Two of Cups over here. I was speaking to this earlier when we were speaking about the cups there with the Eight of Cups. But it's like, if this information aligns, okay, I'm trying to level up. This looks like a level up. Boom, energetic match. It's reciprocal. It's tit and tat. It's you and me. It's me and you. You know, there's an even exchange. There's a correlation here. And there I was saying like things are all mixed up. And here we have this sign with the I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this correctly, caduceus or caduceus, but you get it. It's this healing sign. It's this healing symbol. And look at that, from you, you know, being in this state where your light was dimmed, where there was no healing or there was no miracles. Boom. This creation, you working with spirit, this abundant energy, you just letting out your creation, you letting out your expression. Now it leads you to opportunities, people, even just a feeling of like satisfaction, fulfillment. And, you know, I was also speaking to earlier how there's like collaborators, you know, new experiences, new people, new business partnerships that you're going to align with because they are very much in alignment with you. This is an equal exchange. You're not going to feel like you're giving less, or it's like lopsided where you're giving more than the other person, or, you know, it's unfair ultimately. It's not an injustice on this here. And look at that with the lion as well, taking flight. So, you know, from the ram to the lion, you know, I'm just looking at how there's this transformation of this energy. So it's like this life force which was within you now is directed out, and now the lion is roaring. And we know lion king of the jungle, because it was jumbled up. It's like you rose above the jumbles, right? But it's like king of the jungle. So it's like you are now ruling this domain, you are now ruling this kingdom. And again, here I am seeing the lion. So it's like you having held your boundary, you holding the fort in the war, in the jumbledness. You know, I'm even getting like, what's that big message in the sky, Jumbotron? It's like you held it down, even though it's up in the sky. Again, as above, so below. We continue to grow because that's what we're doing out here. So, you know, just like closing off this reading, which is like now leading us to the Queen of Cups. It's to say, with you being in this place now, with you having understood that, okay, I'm working in tandem with spirit. There's a correlation. There's a reciprocal energy. My ships are coming in. I need to get in motion. I'm grounding this energy. All the abundance is here. I'm remaining peaceful, you know, calm in the storm, in the war, you know, avoiding further conflicts or things that are going to mess up with my soil, you know, my foundation, what I'm building. Applying this information means that you are firstly very much discerning. You know, number one, I'm getting that, of course. I mean, I'm seeing how it's, you know, with this Queen of Cups, the cup is closed. I think in the whole suit of cups, this is the one cup where it actually is closed. So it's like, you know, where the King of Cups could have been somebody who's like navigating the emotions, who has like good emotional intelligence. Here I'm getting emotional discernment. It's like, am I really gonna be nourishing to this? Am I really gonna direct energy to this? Because where energy flows, focus grows, focus goes, energy flows. You know, just chop and change as necessary, because you're picking up what I'm putting down. You feel me? 43, 34. Wow! Come on, man. Like, we're mirroring right now, you know. So again, with the, you know, the correlation with the Two of Cups, it's like, am I really gonna pour energy into this when I can see that it's like not reciprocal type of a thing? And am I going to be compassionate? Am I going to be nourishing to them? Whereas I need to do that for myself first. So I definitely think, you know, this is a matter of being very, like, you know, again, cautious, understanding of where do you actually need to pour your cup into, and where do you need to kind of cover it up and hold back, because we can only give what you have, right? So why not fill your cup first? There's that saying of like cup half full, cup half empty. And that's your perspective. But once you can feel like, oh man, these situations are draining me, that's why I had to leave. And then they try to pull you back. They try to still spiritually attack. They try to, put you in lack, get at your back. Like, come on now. Look at you being all nude here. But if I'm looking at all of these cards and the backs of these people, the backs are like, look at that back. We don't see it there. Over here, I mean, the eyes were closed. You spent the time in this meditation, in this understanding. The back is on the chair. The back is on the chair. So it's like with the back on the chairs or the back's not being seen, it's like there's the limit to what is going to hold us back, which is what we were getting with the boundaries and all these lines. It's like we are not going back anymore. This movement is going to go forward. It's in motion. It's in perpetual motion, however you want to look at it. And you are the one who's now choosing to decide. This actually comes through as like the integration of all of this energy, because you have the information. There we go with the crown. There we have the babies or the angels with the wings, of course, with the reciprocal energies. Also, of course, with the creation now, you being able to live on your creation. And then where you living on your creation? On this earth, right? And this earth, which would have been the King of Pentacles. And wow, it's also like interesting how it comes to like two different energies. It's like the person that you coming together with might also be able to like balance you out for some reason. Or it's an aspect of yourself that's going to be unlocked. But then here we have the water, and look at that. Instead of there being like, rough waters and still waters, now it's like waves and ripples in the water. So it's like there's this integration that's taken place. And look at that, like pebbles, I'm getting like that's now what's come out of you having spent that time. It's like you unearthed the minerals, like the diamonds, like from the land. So that's really, really beautiful. I really like this energy for you, us, the collective, for me as well. I mean, yo, gang. I think this is very beautiful. And, I'm reminded that me being in this collective, you being in this collective, or this collective as we are, as much as we are so big, so varied, and this is why I was even speaking to like the different pathways that we take. The most important thing, guys, is we take care of ourselves so we can take care of other things, other people. And Spirit is also taking care of us. So let's take care, let's be nourishing, let's be compassionate, let's be nurturing to the things that mean the most to us, and understand that it starts with us. We make that decision to do right by ourselves so we can do right by others. Yeah, a lot of things about cleansing, clearing as well with this water energy. Again, I was speaking to water being a medium, so it can take away like all the toxins, all the residue, all the the sweat, the buildup, right? But it can also carry us, like it carries ships and things over the water, things are going through the water. So you are like going with this ebb and flow, like the tides, this back and forth, and just understanding how you work with the water. I'm also looking at how at the top of this chair that she's sitting on, it kind of looks like a shell there, and how shells like give you that opportunity to hear the ocean. So do you hear your heart? Like your heart is speaking to you, your emotions are speaking to you, and you are now, oh goodness, like my left side of my head is throbbing. It's like, why try to put logic into a lot of these things that we do? Because if it feels good, then it's God. So there's a calling for us to be now very much in our feels. Not like feels like, oh, mopey and sad, but like trust what we're feeling, and knowing that even our emotions are our compass, are our guide, moving us from these rough waters into more still waters, into more calm states of being, doing, expressing as well. Wow, I think that's a beautiful place to end the reading. Thank you so much. As always, do the things that you got to do right there at the bottom, and I'm gonna catch you next time. Peace and love, gang. Yeah.